This is a new era, bringing it all together. Getting your right mind, we grind, we do it forever. That's the only mission. Elevated thinking is a vision. Yeah, I'ma keep moving if this so hit. You can't stop me when I hop aboard the spaceship. Sit and watch as I make shit. I am not a human, I'm a living constellation.
I did culinary.
That'll be the
years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I did culinary while I was at band camp.
What?
A prison. Yeah, I spent the last 17 years locked up. So
I was like, I'm sorry, what is
my
that?
sausage at. Huh. Yeah, I did culinary there, and I did a few programs there actually, but culinary is like the main program.
Hey, that's a great skill to have. Honestly,
Yeah.
you'll
Like,
always use it.
Save and everything, but
That's good for you.
No, when I came out, I'm not gonna use it really like that. I wanted to. Yeah, when I came out, my like the time elapsed for to renew it. So because I was doing landscaping, I was getting a lot of money doing landscaping. Now I'm into fitness, so I don't know if I'll ever go back to cooking.
Well, it's still a good
I
skill
do
to
like
have.
it though, yeah.
But you could apply it to fitness, theoretically.
Well, theoretically, you could imply anything in that case.
Yeah,
that's fair. He's like, well, you know what? All right.
but like in the
Wait,
sense of
take
like
it.
God,
nutrition,
I look awful
Yeah.
on camera.
Just like the nutrition, the nutrition side of it, which we all know, but you know what I'm saying.
Valid. Yeah, but the thing is, unless you get your nutrition license, like unless you get certified as a nutritionist, you can't even give people advice, like sound advice about nutrition.
Okay, that makes
That's
sense.
fair.
Yeah. Especially because if you mess them up, like
Yeah.
That's all you, bro.
You gave me the wrong ingredients. Now I'm 400 pounds. Like, what the heck?
It's like, no, dude, it's because you ate 3,000 pounds of it.
exactly. Like, you should have let it go 2,500 pounds.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. That's always like the funny part. People are just like, oh, I don't get how like I got this. I mean, I'm not judging. I don't want to judge anybody.
No, judge. American culture is to sue, and it's
certain
actually
people
quite ridiculous.
Certain people, because I know there's people that have like disorders and stuff, and I'm not here to judge that. But
and then there's the people who walk down your stairs purposely the wrong way while it's snowing, so they could slip and fall and sue.
it's like, whoa,
Oy,
like,
vey.
come on, man.
I
Like,
didn't know that I was gonna fall. It's snowing, and on
That's
the news
like-
it says black ice. Be careful. But
right? Yeah.
you didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know what? That's my fault.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I should have got that black ice off of my lawn.
Yeah. How dare I? Forgive me. I seen like one clip. This like super like this older lady. I don't want to say super old, but maybe she was super old. Like the car pulls up. She's like walking in the crosswalk, and the car stops. Like clear as day. Doesn't tap her. Nothing. Stops clear as day, and then she just goes, "Oh!" and like throws herself on the car. And you're just like, "Yo."
That's
like,
kind of a... Wait, was it
But
like...
they're like video recording the entire time.
Was this satirical or was this like a real thing that actually
It
happened?
looked like a real thing. Like
Oy,
it looked like somebody's dash cam was just chilling, and she like it literally the car stops, and then she just like looks, and then she's just like, oh
Oh my God.
falls on the car. I'm like, yo,
Like I got one. I've been waiting for this all month.
Social security ain't enough.
So like I guess it'll do right
Well,
now.
get into character faster.
Yeah,
Act better. There was a pause there.
yeah. She waited
People.
too long, and she probably didn't know it was being recorded either. She's probably like, yo, it's my payday.
I will forget those over there.
Photoshop it.
Yeah, right. Just, my back. Oh, like, bro, you didn't even fall on your back. You landed on your knees. Like,
But
you
if
good.
you look at it from this angle,
yeah, right. Exactly.
While I was falling, I threw out my back also.
Oh, don't even joke about that.
No, that's true though.
Oy.
That's fair. As you get older, you be doing the craziest stuff and you be getting hurt. I'm telling you.
Yeah, hi.
I messed up my knee. That is so true. As soon as I turned 30, I messed up my knee on a hop step.
Yo, it's the 30s. Mine, I hurt my busted my back. Like I was like, yo, what?
Don't even talk to me.
So crazy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she was out for like months. She was like, Jay, I can't even sit in this chair and pod. My
Like,
back is wrecked.
It was like, oh, that was such a humbling moment because I was like, yes, I was
Yeah.
like, Poland Springs blew out my back. Like, what even is that?
Well,
Yo.
you could clearly sue. That's what we learned.
Yes, you could.
Oh,
It's too heavy. Y'all are making the cases
they gotta
too
make
heavy.
those cases a little bit lighter. Yep.
That's true.
meanwhile, we all know they're not that heavy. I twisted. I twisted and turned. Okay, we know it.
If I'm your lawyer, I think they need to make those cases a little bit.
You're hired.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Listen, if you can sue McDonald's for too hot coffee,
Exactly.
Oh yeah, caution, hot contents now.
yeah.
Because some lady, she like, granted she did get like a little fucked up, and I guess like the shit was hot up, but still like she put the coffee in her own lap, squeezed her thighs, went over a bump or something, the shit spilled. Like, idiocy is why she got burnt, not because the coffee was too hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And bitch, you're buying hot coffee. What
Common
do you
sense
think?
ain't too common.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you
not
were saying, it
at
says
all.
black ice on the news, and
Right.
still, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She thought her hot coffee was gonna be a little less hotter than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't order lulukewarm coffee.
I was just gonna say, can you read my mind? I was literally gonna be like, can I have a
think that
lukewarm
was
coffee?
I think that was the energy of the whole room because that's the
It's
exact
like-
word I was gonna use.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like it's either hot
Right.
or it's not.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no other way to have
It's
coffee.
either hot or you need to put it back
Can
in the
you
microwave.
temperature this coffee for me?
Yo, room temp this real quick.
Yeah.
Throw some ice cubes in this, please. Oh, did you want a nice
Ew,
coffee? Because
room
I'll
temp
give you a nice
coffee.
That's
is-
for iced coffee.
When I worked at Dunkin's,
simple.
bro, every morning this lady came in. Yeah, can I get a medium black, couple ice cubes in it?
She wanted to drink it right away. She wanted to drink it right away. But then you have like the crazy people like my friend. He'll like as soon as he gets it, he'll just drink it to make sure that it's right. Hot coffee.
I mean, I'll take a
Like
sip.
he'll grab it. Oh, it's crap, and then he'll get pissed and ruin his day.
Oh, is this the same friend that won't say anything about it if he doesn't like it?
Yeah,
Oh no.
he'll like throw
Or
it
are you
out.
one of those too?
What?
Like if you order something and it is not the way that you ordered, are you not saying anything, or are you approaching that situation like, oh hey, I'm sorry,
I'm definitely saying something because I'm
Okay.
paying my money. Yet it always depends how or what or sometimes if you say anything, right? Because let's
Okay.
just say you go up there and it's like they ain't really particularly care for you when you first asked the first time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
You're
it's
reading
like,
the vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You feel me?
I got you.
I'm not about to ask a second time because I'll be lucky if you didn't spit in it the first time. You want me to give you my stuff
Okay.
back to give you a whole other chance? To...
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Nah, not
Okay.
this.
No, I
just
get
go
it.
home.
But there are some people that just don't want to like speak up at all for their own reasons.
Oh,
like,
no,
wants
I
to-
gotta speak
I won't
up.
send
Hi,
food back at a
same.
restaurant.
That's like the movie Waiting.
I
Y'all see the movie
definitely
Waiting?
will.
I'll-
I'll never be
Waiting.
rude about it
I'll
though.
let the waiter know, like, afterwards, like, yo, I still ate that shit. I was hungry, obviously, but like, that was cold or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I will not say something and send my shit back. Won't do it.
Oh, I definitely will.
It's a time and a place for everything.
Right, I'm not,
You got to read
I
the
just
room.
feel like I
gotta read
that's
the
how
room.
I try to do it. Like I'll get to even the drive-through.
Yeah.
If they start acting crazy when I'm asking for my order, I just drive off. I don't know what's about to be in that plate. I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
straight.
Right?
I'll order the whole thing and everything, and they'll be like, "Yeah, so did you say you wanted large or small?" Like,
Actually, I don't want anything. Bye.
no. Yeah.
Nah, keep the 675.
That's okay.
No,
so
I'm not giving them nothing. They made all
Oh,
of that
the
food.
window. Yeah. I got you. I
and
got
now
you. I
they
got you.
got to give it to somebody else
I like your
for
style.
free.
My favorite is I went to Starbucks and I got like a venti, whatever, and they pulled up with like a tall, and I was like, I ordered a venti, and they're like, well, do you want it? Because like we're just gonna throw it away. I'm like, yeah, like I'll take the tall and the venti. Let's go. Same drink. I was like, all right, I guess we're having extra coffee today.
Mr. Caffeine over here.
Yeah, with a little bit of coffee in it.
Oh yeah, you don't even drink coffee.
Yeah, it's just the cream.
Yeah.
Cream
Okay.
and sugar.
It's just cream and sugar. That's all it is. That's what we do around
Oh,
here.
this looks ridiculous on camera.
We got like the highlighter pink.
Well, I mean, the ratio of cup to Kayla looks ridiculous.
It's,
Yeah.
Trust me, it's the TV. It's not what it looks like.
It is. I've seen our YouTube. It's okay. It is what it is.
Listen,
I'm sorry. Sorry.
But anyways, I want to welcome our guest Dante.
Oh, we're totally right.
I know we've been rolling this whole time. I don't tell nobody nothing. We're here. We're live.
Oh, we
flesh.
Well, we've been live.
We probably been live for like
We like to do
35
that.
minutes.
We like to do the little intro, let shit happen.
Yeah.
Do the intro, you know what I mean?
Look at the content we just got. Look at that.
Exactly. Let it flow, man. You know, let it flow. But whatever you do, be careful because people are falling down for no apparent reason out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We
walk up on your car.
We gonna watch you when you leave.
Whoa.
Is that like a new career path for us?
It could be. Honestly,
That's the new moneymaker.
I'm not opposed to it.
All right.
Yeah.
Some quick cash.
I'm not
opposed.
Listen.
actually getting hit, right?
Hell no.
No, you wait till it stops and
Nah,
then
I
Sign me up then. As long as I'm not physically getting hit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is a small chance that you could.
Oh, no, really? I didn't know if I played in
That
traffic.
little
I'd get
element
hit,
of
you know what I
danger
mean?
in there. That, you know,
How
you might have
exciting.
to sign away with it very much so.
What an adrenaline rush.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's gonna be something.
Yo, Crispy, draft a waiver real quick because I gotta watch this guy before he leaves.
You should.
He gonna stumble up them stairs.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I like to use my ideas before I forget them. Watch me.
Starts leaving the
hilarious.
pod all of a
Alright,
sudden.
so he's falling down the stairs on the way out, and he's jumping on Jay's card saying he hit him. All right.
Yeah, right. It falls on the top
Yeah,
of my
go for
truck.
his. He's got a big truck.
What type of truck is it?
Dodge Ram.
That.
The Ram.
I almost was like, I don't know
He's
which
like,
thing.
yo, I could just see the ideas just rolling in his
But
head
see,
now.
as he has a good lawyer, the good lawyer would say, "Now I'm sorry for doing this to my own case, but I'm gonna be able to combat this when I come back. I'm
There you go.
gonna give you your first defense. The truck says Dodge. That's it.
It's like the hot coffee situation. You know what's coming. You know what to do. Get out the way.
Stop playing around. You know that was hot coffee.
Yeah. That was perfect. That was clutch.
That was good one.
You know, every now and again I
That was
say
funny.
something that makes sense.
And
Yeah,
you know
there
what?
we
It
go.
was documented too. So
Yeah, that's
funny.
ill. I'm not even gonna lie.
He's like, yo, can you send me that clip after?
You ever just shot a tissue into the trash can and it went in and you looked around to make sure somebody
fell.
seen it? You know it was by yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
You're like, yo, I really just made that. And it was like one of those shots too. And like,
Yeah, you like you did, yeah.
it like hooked in.
Yeah,
You're like,
you like-
oh, that's not going in. Oh, it went in.
Yeah, I gotta angle this. Just,
Ah, motherfucker. All right.
You're like, oh, where?
yeah, no.
No.
nobody.
You're like,
Yeah,
nah,
nobody.
I can't even prove nothing.
Yeah.
Can't prove nothing now.
Nothing.
Not happening. Nah.
This generation is different though. Everybody could prove everything. They got their phones.
They got the cameras out, dude.
Yeah.
Cameras is out all the time.
yeah,
It's kind of sucky, actually.
kinda or like extremely.
I mean, it's actually like it's like bittersweet, right? So it's like it's a part of it that's nice because it's like you get to document stuff that normally wouldn't be documented.
Right.
So it actually helps or gives you a like, you know what I mean, gives you less work to do because a majority of our historical stuff has been documented throughout paperwork. You know what I mean, or courthouse, things like that. So if you have everything already pretty much on file, like with video, then it's like you could prove it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that element of it or that part of it is pretty cool. I think the part where people have to go through lived experiences that they wished could be private when they get publicized, I think that part of it is kind of not so cool.
Yeah, no, I hear
You
that.
know what I mean? And
I hear that.
But yeah, right. What can you do? It's always going to be a give and take with pretty much everything, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, right? I don't know. Yeah, I wish people would stop taking their phones out for stuff. Like, dude, he's on the floor dying.
Are you? That just
Yeah,
happened.
there's certain moments where I'm like, yo, what is like, what world are we living in? Like, there are certain things that, like, yeah, like, for example, if someone's injured or in a situation where they're not, they're extremely hurt or just not here anymore. And our first instinct is to pull out your phone.
Like, oh my gosh. You're like,
Are you
No.
serious? And it's like, at what point did the instinct to like maybe call an emergency vehicle for someone that's hurt? Like, when did that get replaced with like, let me film this?
yeah.
I don't
guess
get
'cause you're
it.
pulling out your phone anyway. Oh, could be.
But where did this? You know why? Because it's easier. At least on an iPhone, it's easier to pull out your camera than it is to dial 911. It's faster to pull out your.
Gewalt.
If you think about it,
Yeah.
Like I could
You can just click one button and it's like there.
versus opening it up, finding your call section,
That makes sense.
911.
Yeah.
I also feel like we kind of live in the day and age of like, oh, someone else will get that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Someone probably already called, and it's
I
like,
completely
Yeah.
agree with that.
what is your problem?
I agree.
completely agree with
Like
that.
I don't understand that at all. And then like what's up with and then something so not as serious, but like what is the obsession with like people eating in front of the camera? Like now I feel like people just do like casual reels and they're just like eating. Like I was brought up in a way that's rude. Like, you know, like not eating in front of a camera, but like say if we're having a full out conversation, I'm probably not going to be eating a meal. I know I talk with my mouth full all the time. I know it's documented. That means I love you. But if we're having like a legitimate like life talk or something, like are we really going to be eating like a full meal? Like I don't know. I just think that's weird. And then I don't know. Maybe that's just me in my own opinion. But I think it's
I
weird.
understand what you're saying. It's just like kind of like, probably like a sign of respect. Right?
Yeah, and
It's
like a manners thing,
Yeah.
maybe, because like the way that I was brought up was wicked old school, and so
Yeah.
it was just like don't talk with your mouth full, like blah blah, blah like all these things. And I do it, but again, it means that I love you. But like I just think that's weird that that's like a full thing, and it's so normalized now. Like I remember when I was little, if I was on the phone with one of my friends and I was eating at the same time, my mom would be like, "What do you do? Don't eat on the phone.
Yeah.
That's rude. You're gonna chew in someone's ear." And I'm like, and now it's like,
Yeah, I get it all the time here. Thanks. And you with the ice and
what?
Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry, Dad.
I'm back here not saying nothing. Dude. Don't bring me into this. all
Sorry,
right?
Dad.
Nah, because I'm the only one with headphones.
Yeah.
All right,
So
Mr.
then,
Sniffles.
like, they be like mad close to
Mr.
thinking,
I know.
like, sipping drinks, like, right, like ASMR all up in my head. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
so
the
you can
only
hear
one
all
that
of that.
sits
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
And he hates mouth noises too, so it's like, yeah, it's extra cringe.
So I appreciate it.
Beat
Appreciate you
slugs.
guys. We'll show you the clip after.
It's priceless, bro.
But anyways, what's been going on with you, man? We've like dove like 15 minutes in, but you know, want to
Yeah,
kind
I
of share a
love
little bit
this.
about yourself and just,
So,
you know.
well, with me, same old stuff. Just trying to take over the world.
I hear that.
Okay. Like Pinky in the Brain?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's where that came from. I thought I made that up. Never mind. You know what? So anyway, what I've been doing, I just read.
No, you made it up. It's totally you. It's original.
Exactly. Yeah.
Completely
I'm gonna
original.
Sue them for trying to.
Copyright.
They stole it from
You got
you.
that copyright. See?
Okay,
See,
first.
we just manifest in different ways to make quick money
that's
now.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. So now I've been just like, so you see my hoodie. I just came from work. So
Okay.
inner city weightlifting. That's what I do. I'm a personal trainer.
Word.
You know what I mean, and I got my certification through Inner City Weightlifting, which is a program that speaks for the agency of families and individuals that suffered from mass incarceration. Wow. So yeah, so they and they have a very not only is their mission statement philanthropic, yet their whole everything they're doing, like their whole staff. So even it'll be like some young kids from college, and most of them will probably be like white or affluent kids where they probably grew up in a way where maybe their families or neighborhood was racist, yet they'd never seen life that way, so they want to give back because of that, or in spite of that, or you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
that might even be the reason why they just looked at it, the flip side of it, like, okay, you guys are like, don't mess with these people because of X, Y, and Z, so you know what, I'm gonna mess with them anyway, type thing, you know what I'm saying? So like, and me growing up, that's how I always was. Like, I did pretty much the opposite of everything my parents said to do. So,
Hey.
yeah.
But that's
I
good
get
that
that.
there's people out there that will do things like that. Like they see the people that are, I use this loosely, like shunned out, you know, that are cast to the side, and it's like, no, like these people need just as much help as the next person, you know, just anybody. So it's like, you know, and they always talk about like, oh, reform and this and that, but it's like, what are you actually doing to help fix those situations? So you're just like, nah, they're, you know, to the side, or you actually doing something about it? You know, it's all talk, but where is the action that's actually doing something?
Absolutely. And there's to piggyback off of what you said, I agree with that completely. First and foremost, yeah, to piggyback off of what you said, there's also excuse me, there's like nowadays there's a lot of awareness brought to that situation. So there's a lot of companies or just a lot of entities coming out of nowhere trying to either rectify that situation or get a piece of it. Because it could go either way, right? A lot of things, once money's involved, a lot of people's mission statements kind of fluctuate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kind of switch up.
I get that.
And so I say that because right now, because of the mass incarceration, right? Because of mass incarceration being a big thing and being highlighted within America, because it's documented that we had more people incarcerated in America per capita than pretty much any other country in the world, right? Not number one yet, almost number one,
It's a
right?
business.
Right. And so when that became highlighted, people started to look at it a little bit differently, and then everybody started to realize pretty much 2 out of 3 people had a family member or a direct friend, like somebody close to them that was incarcerated or suffered from incarceration, you know what I mean? Like in some type of way, whether it be parole or on the bracelet or went in and came out, somebody, you know what I mean?
Some form of it.
And so I believe after that and all of the awareness that came about, a lot of groups started formulating and nonprofit organizations. My company, or the company that I work for, is a nonprofit organization. I have my own company, so that's why I didn't want to mix the two.
Sure.
So the nonprofit organization, which is again inner city weightlifting, they are pretty good with like staying true to their mission statement. Yet what I was long-winded more or less to say that there are a lot of companies that are just doing it to get the money, and then it's just, it doesn't even matter. The mission statement is, it doesn't even matter anymore. You know what I mean? Once we got the money, like that's what we did it for. You know?
That was the question I was going to ask. I was going to say, like, do you think that there are those companies, which I'm sure there are, unfortunately, that do these things just to get like a, hey, look at me, and then they just, you know, kind of disappear type of thing, you know, where it's just like, hey, like we're the good guys, come look at us, but you're really not doing what you should be doing.
Absolutely.
You know, and then you
Just
have,
really clout,
you know,
almost.
programs like the ones that you're a part of that are like, no, like we're serious about this.
Yeah,
like,
no, they dead ass serious.
That's dope.
I like to the point where I question them at first, and I'm like, okay, nah, they dead ass serious. Yet there is a lot of those companies that are just like trying to jump on the bandwagon for the clout, like you said, excuse me, or for the allocated funds that are there, right? Because the government has allocated funds for specifically for these situations.
And that's a problem, because then again, that the situation that you just brought up where you have to question them. Like you shouldn't have to. Like you should be like, hey, you know, somebody comes to you like, hey, we're here to help you, or whatever, you know, whatever that situation is. You shouldn't be like, like thoughts shouldn't be coming in your head of, do I trust this guy or not?
Right.
Like it should just be like, oh, okay, cool. Like they're here to help. But it's like, again, sadly, there's people that pull that false facade, and they're just like, yeah, like we're here to help.
Right.
To get the poster picture and then post it on Instagram, and then they don't do anything.
I cannot stand that like idea or theme. It's like, what is the point then? Because that's not helping. So like, why make yourself just look like that? Like that's,
they want to look like the good guy.
I just think it's so ridiculous. But I think it also goes to the whole like, and maybe this is off topic, but like, again with social media, it's like, if you're gonna do something nice, or let me reel it back. If you're a nice person, or if you're a kind person, because there's a difference between nice and kind, so we'll go with kind. If you're a kind-hearted person, you don't need to tell anybody that you're kind.
Amen.
Because they will just know by your essence, by your actions, just by your energy. If you are naturally like just a person that helps somebody, you probably don't want to publicize that.
Absolutely.
Because
get used.
You understand, well, and you also understand the value of like not publicizing helping someone. It almost takes away from it, you know?
I agree with that.
And like,
that's like helping I agree with that.
You know, like it's like, why wouldn't you kind of want to do that in silence? And then you see, but maybe it's a double-edged sword, because there are some things on social media that I'll see, like beautiful stories of people like really helping others, and like in just such a way that, you know, is God, or it's just from above, you know? And then, you know, the other people that are probably like, oh, make sure, Crispy, come over here with that camera. I'm about to do this for this guy. I'm going to give him money. Can you get this? And it's like, That's obnoxious, bro.
Yeah, that is.
Like that. What is
I
that's
could
so
see-
obnoxious?
Now, if I'm being honest, I could see myself doing that and telling Crispy, make sure you get my left side, the reason for me to do it is because, yes, excuse me, publicizing it or trying to make it like for TV kind of waters it down. Yet at the same time, if your intent is not watered down, if you're
That's
doing
true.
it for the
That's a
right
good point.
reasons,
Right.
then that is going, like, it doesn't matter
That's a good
if
point.
the TV waters it down, because what I would publicize it for is not to water it down or to be like, hey, look at me, I did this kind of thing, even though I'm really a horrible person. It's more or less like, yo, I did this, so you could do it too.
Be inspired
Right?
to like
exactly,
pay it forward
like,
type of
pay
deal.
it forward. That's exactly
Okay.
what I was gonna say. I've always been like, once I seen the movie. I don't know if you ever seen that movie. Pay
It's
It Forward.
it's a beautiful
Amazing.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
It's
beautiful
that I
movie.
like. I cried like a baby.
beautiful movie. And when after I seen that movie, I always felt like that. I'm like, yo, it's so simple. It's like everything is pretty much a numbers game. Like, right,
Yeah.
you just just the way that he did that to Spiral Out. It's kind of similar to what you need to do in order to be a famous artist, right? So I feel like a majority of business or entertainment or anything that has to do with the agency of people, that word of mouth and traveling from 1 + 1 = 2 is probably the easiest and most effective way to do it. You know what I mean? Because you also know you could kind of see the transitions and the changes happening versus like, okay, I'll give it to these people over here, give it to these people over here. Maybe they'll do the right thing, maybe they won't. But you know, when it starts with one person, like, and you have that will to like get it done, boom, they're gonna do it. He's gonna affect another person.
Yeah.
That person is gonna be so affected that they're going to affect somebody else. Like, that's different because it's individualized stuff where it's like these people are compelled because they personally went through whatever they went through that made them want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong.
No, I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
No, because it's like
I ain't smoked yet, so
too.
That's
Because
okay. You're
like
still having good thoughts.
yeah, exactly. And two, it's like, you know, if you're a person that's been through those situations, like you can kind of like keep the ball rolling for other people that have been in, you know, that are currently in those situations. And I think there's a difference between trying to bring awareness to something, which is, you know, kind of along the lines of what you're saying.
Yep.
Like, hey, like I'm trying to bring awareness to this. Like these people
Yeah.
are in need. These people are in, need, need help. Versus, you know, I've seen the flip side of it where it's almost like, you know, I've seen people shoot a video. Yo, check, yo, this is my boy right here. Like, yo, I'm about to give him $1,000 in cash, and it's like, I can't imagine in that scenario how that person feels like almost when it finally clicks for them, like I'm being used right now.
Yeah, like solicited.
To just, you know, get a post on social media. Like I wonder what and again, I'm only seeing it from the lens of that specific clip. Like I don't know what the conversation was prior. I don't know what the conversation was after. So there, you know, there is that gray area, but you know, sometimes you can almost see it too on that person's face that's being filmed. Like,
Yeah, like
I don't want to be filmed, but like I'm also like really grateful that this person is giving me, you know, money. Or I mean, who's to say they don't do like what some of these companies are doing, where they're like, yo, I'm about to give this dude $5,000, and then, you know, camera cuts off and it's like, yo, appreciate you, man, have a good one, and then they peace out. I'm not saying that happens, but like imagine, like, because I mean,
I don't doubt that it
if
does,
you have
though, at the
companies
same
that are
time.
doing that, imagine people that.
I guess I didn't think of
I'm
that.
just saying.
I think I
Again,
can be
I'm only
naive sometimes.
I can only view it from the lens, but it's like it makes you think, unfortunately, and question the intentions of people and what they're doing.
Right.
But if you have genuine people that are like, yo, I'm here to help these people, you know, we need to bring awareness to this. Like,
Absolutely.
That was
this
a
is
good
the
point.
situation.
Depending on your intention, whether or not there's a camera there, it's not going to water down
Right.
anything because of like where it's rooted from.
Right,
That's
right.
a really good
You
point.
did it, if you did it for the right reasons, I think
Right.
you'd be good. I think that does happen a lot though, like where you know, the whole making people feel uncomfortable thing it seems to be a pretty big thing nowadays because people are just doing the most ridiculous stuff, chasing clout in order to just like get their little couple seconds of fame, and I think that's kind of ridiculous.
I agree.
I seen like probably like a little less than a month ago, with like a female went to some girl's house and slapped their mom. Yeah, no bull. I'm like, what?
And just recorded everything. Or
But of
just...
course, she was like, this your mom right here? Slapped the bang, bang. Yeah, no bull. Directly after that, the girl who was recording herself slapping the girl's mom ended up getting murdered.
Dang.
Yeah.
Where was that? Do we know?
No,
Well.
but I could look it up.
If you feel, yes.
Yeah, nah, just, 'cause now we live in the era of Google, so.
That's very true.
But it's like,
Damn.
I don't wish death on anybody.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, like this.
It wasn't far-fetched.
You can't
The
play,
consequences
though.
of the thing of the, just
Yeah.
to get your little seconds of fame.
There
it's
is
like,
no forward thinking, though.
The level of fucking around you do is the level of finding out what's gonna happen.
Word to that.
Yeah, like.
I don't get why people don't understand that saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like you said, like people don't think far ahead of, you know, what is the potential of what is about to happen. They just like, oh, it's whatever.
Facts. Nah, they don't care about the consequences, and that's the sad part about today's generation.
Exactly.
No bull.
Like she didn't stop and think that maybe ramifications are gonna happen. Maybe slapping some girl's mom, bro.
She's just smacking her up. Jeez.
She slapped the wrong person, bro. Is what she did.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know who you're messing with. Like that's
You
crazy.
just don't know nowadays, man.
You don't know who you're messing with. People do it to random Joe Schmoes.
Yo, this is wild.
Yo, this your mom?
Boom.
The fact that she stood there and took it too, like
Okay, I was also thinking
She
that
was
too.
confused though.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
I mean, wondering that too, to the point where I thought it was fake. Then I looked at her face a little harder. I'm like,
She was probably like
yeah,
stunned.
she lives there.
yeah.
And
Oh,
she
okay.
probably has kids in the back, so it's like I'll take the slaps.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Because you're not coming in this house.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
coming in this house.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
definitely not,
Mhm.
bro.
I
That's
feel
wild,
that.
bro. Like, how do you? People don't think, man. If I do this, something bad could happen to me.
It's like anything, like people doing like ridiculous like speed stuff or whatever. We get catch this on video and whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like car accident. It's like, dude, like did you not think this through?
Right.
Stuff like you see it all the time. It's like, dude, like you did not think this through.
As you're talking, it makes me think that people think because it's Instagram or social media that maybe the consequences aren't real either. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
that's
it's
a
like,
good point.
Social media is not real. So if I do this,
Right.
maybe just like a dream, I won't really die. I won't.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what is really as he's talking, and I'm thinking about like even my whole relationship with my kid's mom. I'm like, why would you do some of that stuff? And I'm just like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, how do you not know that this is the repercussions of what you're doing? And I'm thinking maybe they're like, oh, social media is fake, so all of it's fake.
Right. It almost creates like this dissonance in our brain between like what are real consequences and like what isn't, because we're so used to just scrolling and seeing things that are not real all the time that it's like, oh well, yeah, I'm sure if I do this, like I'll be fine.
And even the ideologies and the like the wants of people are becoming unrealistic, right? People are living in an unrealistic world. They're not even is unrealistic bad bitches. It's women that think that they're gonna get a big dick baller who
You heard it here
only
first,
cares
ladies
about them and he's faithful.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's gonna be the most
I get what
handsome.
you're saying. Yeah.
Like it's not realistic. He's never gonna argue with me. He's gonna love the fact that I slept with 1,000 dudes before him.
That's wild. Yeah, that's not a real thing.
I'm telling you, it almost killed me just now.
Please don't die on air.
Jesus.
If you could.
I'm like, please don't do that. We'll have to file an incident report. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, I'm not trying to make you the water boy now.
Oh
I
no, that's so true though. That's people are very unrealistic and like lofty in their
today's
expectations.
No,
society
for
is very
him. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, can my man's get a water? Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for catching that.
absolutely.
they
My
don't
face
see the
was thanks.
blooper reels. You know what I'm saying? Like you shoot something. We've shot stuff. Like you have like a bunch of the blooper reels. You don't see all the mistakes. You only see the perfect shot.
Right.
You don't only see the money shot. You don't see all the bloopers that happen before, all the mistakes that happened before. It's the same thing with like getting smacked up or whatever. Like you don't see the real life part of it. And then all of a sudden,
oh, she saw it. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
she fucked around and she found out. She probably slapped the
You
wrong
met-
person's mom, bro, and someone got mad down the
Not for
line.
nothing. What even makes somebody think it's okay to go and slap someone's mother?
You ain't slapping my mom. I'll tell you
No
that. I don't
respect.
care who-
because
Like-
that was the intent.
like,
Because she's
this
like, "This
is-
your mom. This is your mom." Like,
right.
Like,
it wasn't just
that-
like,
An
"Yo."
accident, yeah.
Right.
It wasn't like I just found this woman and was like had some
And
beef with her and just like came up.
Yeah.
And no, you like intently knew who this person was and that it was their mom.
Like that just to me is wild. Like,
like-
no respect at all, bro.
Yeah.
Like
and that's part of the unrealistic way of thinking,
That's a
right?
good- yeah.
These people,
that's a good point. It's like
the young-
nothing's
yeah.
real. There's no
the younger the generation is, the less respect they have because the more they're living in the fantasy world. You got people going to people's graves, desecrating graves, peeing on people's graves, taking tombstones, moving them. Like this is real stuff that's happening, and
Yeah.
most of it's recent, actually.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Like why? What? Like I
Stealing them.
asked a question. You know,
Stealing graves,
Yeah.
like all type
what-
of stuff.
Like how does it? You know, what's
They
the
feel like, oh, that's how they get back at the ops.
what?
No, I'm dead ass serious.
bros in the like no disrespect. Like bros in the grave. Like what do
Exactly.
you? You know.
I don't.
What,
That's
what more harm can you do to this person?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Again,
crazy.
With all due respect to those that are lost.
or
you
how
know
about
what I mean?
like let it go? There's
Yeah,
the
what-
option to
what
do
more
that.
do you want to take?
Right.
You know, again,
Well, for that, the crazy
And I'm
part
in
about
for
that, the crazy part about that is American society has kind of like brainwashed people into believing a lot of crap, right? So when
I
it comes
can
to
agree with that.
when it comes to violence, that violence is as old as biblical times. So violence is not only been around in, you know, prevalent in history, period, not just American history, is needed, is necessary, right? Not only for self-defense, yet just for hunting purposes,
Yeah.
for, you know what I mean, for self-preservation purposes. For numerous reasons, violence is necessary and is going to continue to be necessary for entertainment, right? Nobody's going to say, right now, if I punch Krispy, or Krispy punch me, however, because nobody wants to be the punchee, people want to be the puncher, right? Krispy punches me and knocks me smooth out, and the cops catch him, he's going to jail. But if I stand here and this becomes a ring, and then Krispy punches me,
I was just thinking that.
he could punch me right in the face, knock me clean out, same way, but it's okay. Because Americans said, nah, we're entertained by it now.
Start clapping. We were just talking about the Tyson fight before you came in. It's like
Actually, the guest of
Everybody's-
the episode that drops actually probably
Right now.
right now, he's a professional
he's
fighter.
an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Who?
Jake Pilla. Shout out Jake
yeah?
Pilla. Yeah.
Jake the Gorilla Pilla. Yes,
he's got a
shout out
fight.
Jake.
Yeah, he's got a fight coming up, but
That's American society in a nutshell. So it
agree.
brainwashes people into believing crap. And honestly, since the beginning of time, that's what they've been doing, right? Because they came over here, stole their land from people who already was inhabiting it, right? And then made them believe, now it's not y'all's, it's ours now. Right? And then after
by
that,
force.
they did exactly. They did a whole bunch of stuff in order to maintain the land that then they deemed to be illegal. They did it, became rich off of it, but if you do it, you're going to jail.
Yeah. It's funny how that works.
I was just having a conversation with Pod Mom
Or
and,
methodic.
and your mom.
True.
And I was like, can Jesus just come already? Because, like, I'm good. Like, I don't want to be here. like, I'm all set. Like, I'm ready. Can we just
know.
stop? Like, this is a joke, right?
That's what I mean. That's how people are taking it. It's just a big joke. It's like what Jake was saying on his episode. Like he's a fighter, and like he'll have just random Joe Schmoes come up. Yo, I could fight. Like no, you're not seeing the reality of what this picture really is. Like
Sure,
you're about
you
to get
can fight, but
laid
You may be able to fight,
out.
but you can't fight this dude who's been training his whole fucking life for it. You know what I mean?
And then they step up to the wrong person, and then they get laid out.
That's like, oh, let me see if
Or
I
you
know.
step up to the wrong mom, and you get laid out.
Right. Yeah, facts. That happened with Mike Tyson. when the dude kept talking trash to Mike Tyson on the street, and then Mike Tyson was like, "Come on, man."
He's like, "Stop."
He kept going.
Chill.
And Mike Tyson was like, "Dude, I'm Mike Tyson. Are you serious?"
Right.
Yeah.
Peep, peep, peep. I told you I was Mike Tyson.
Right? Like what?
Now you want to?
How many times I gotta tell you that it's a hot coffee? Like what, I'm a hot coffee right now. Like what? What is
It's
happening?
not iced coffee. You know.
That's what I'm saying. They don't. Yeah, you said it. You nailed it. So they live in this. People just live in this fantasy world. Like I see the kids. Like even the kids. Like I say it all the time. Like the kids at my job, they'll grab the iPads and they'll watch people watching video games or playing video games.
That
and
is
it's like
so weird to me.
you're just like immersing yourself in this fantasy world of people playing games. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with gaming, especially like if you're, you know, into that and like, you know, or you want to create games. Like that's super dope. That's really smart. Like I can't do it. I can't code for crap. But like they'll literally just like I've seen kids literally just sit there for a half hour and just video after video after video after video and just and it's just people, either content or just people playing games, like, you know, Minecraft or whatever. I'm like, yo, like, can we snap back into reality? And then I'll be like, yo, time's up, and they'll still be just.
I feel like developmentally, that has to have like great effects on your mental. Especially like for younger kids where it's like your brain is still forming and developing and then you're just like sitting there and like that's gotta have, I mean, we see it. We see the effects of it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, I mean, I don't want to say I was a gamer, but like, yo, you give me the opportunity, I would play for like 3 hours. But like that was once every 2 weeks. That was once every 2 weeks. After I was, you know, did my homework and was outside for 30 hours a day, you know, it wasn't like I was doing that every single day, you know, whereas I think COVID played a part because obviously the kids are on screens and they had their tablets and that's how they learned. So then they just became accustomed to it. You know, I'm looking at a screen, so this is what I got to do all day. You know, so even if now that they're in school, they still have that like natural reaction to then get in front of an iPad or something to have that kind of feeling again, because that's what they were used to for what, two and a half, 3 years. You know, I mean, speculating, but that's where I saw the bigger change. You know, because like we don't even have kids that play video games anymore. Like the kids would show up like pre-COVID. They would come in and like, you know, they play video games, you know, on, you know, Xbox, PlayStation, Wii, whatever. They don't play anymore. They grab an iPad and they flip through videos. It's all they do. Nobody plays the game anymore. I'm like, yo, where are the gamers at? Like,
Or like anything interactive for that matter. Like
nothing interactive. I think thankfully, some of them we have, it's called Kinect Sports, for any of those that don't know what that is. It's like motion censored, like, but they have like sports games and the kids will like jump into it. But like other than that, once that like 3:30 time hits that we have our electronics open, you'll look across the room and you'll see like 5, 6, 10 kids either on their phones flipping through videos or on our iPads flipping through videos.
You know, I'm no better as an adult though, because I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely do that.
you see people crossing the street, just like
Yeah,
it's too easy.
people driving.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
The fantasy world.
Yeah.
And even knowing it, the thing is, like, I feel like even knowing that it's fake, it doesn't prevent you from still indulging in it, right?
Yeah.
Because just like you said, like, dang, I'm guilty of that. And you have the knowledge to know, like, dang, people are kind of, by being trapped in your phone that way, it's like a lot of people are lost.
Yeah.
Yet, it's just so easy to get lost in that way because it's so accessible. It's just right there.
Yeah.
Dopamine hit.
Yeah, you know?
Like boom,
that
boom,
pleasure,
boom.
the pleasure center of it all.
Yeah.
I'm just, oh, there.
All of a sudden, an hour and a half has gone by, and you're like, "Yo, I just watched like probably 400 TikToks."
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh my God, you ever look at your screen time and you're like, want to die? You're like, oh my God, who am I?
But how about
that
this?
setting off.
The
Doesn't show me
phone
each week.
the phone actually being catered to you, so it's not no accident. You're not looking at stuff that you don't want to look at. right? You ever just talk
program it
about
all.
some shit and then
Yep.
all of a sudden now it's on your phone?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
You're like,
not
yo,
no
all the
fucking
time.
accident.
Yeah.
You feel
All
what I'm
the
saying?
time.
So it's like you're not look. If it was like I hate chess, not me. I like chess, but like if I said that, let's just say I'm a person who hates chess, and then every time I looked at Instagram, it was chess videos. I wouldn't look at Instagram.
Right.
But I'm a man, and I spent a whole bunch of time with other men, so I love estrogen and femininity. And when I look through my phone and I see nothing but booty shaking videos, I say, hey, brother, I might be here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't
yeah.
like them no more. I'm not stupid. I know that messes up the algorithm. You feel what I'm saying? Because now the algorithm's going to keep showing me booty videos. And, sweetie, I don't need to see you twerk for a week. That's I'm straight.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? You got 100 posts, and all of them is you twerking, just different pants on. And one of them is the whole
That's
week where
true.
you wore the same pants. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
It's true though.
it's nice to see sometimes. And I said but on purpose because I don't like to say but it is.
I got you.
Nice
I
to
got
see
you.
Sometimes.
But it's true. Like you're
Do you
like,
just
yo,
want-
my car is trash. I need a new car, and then all of a sudden it's just
Cars.
car ads. You're like, bro, like what is happening? That's why I took it off my phone. I'm telling you.
What, Instagram?
I took all my. I mean, I kind of put it back, but like I hit it like deep.
Yeah. So you
into-
can't be tempted too much. Yeah.
But like I took it off. Like I only had it on my iPad, so that if it was, if I had to be around Wi-Fi, I couldn't be doing it like while driving. I'll admit driving or, even out and about. Like if I'm out and about, like I want to be present with what I'm doing, because I found like there were times like I added TikTok back to my phone, and then all of a sudden like I would look at it and it was like I'd be on scrolling through TikTok all over again, and I'm like, yo, like
What am I doing?
what the heck? So then I'm like, yo, I know that I have to delete, like, take this off because I will be here. Because it's there. So then you're like, because, like, for example, like closing my building, the old habit, go around, you shut all the lights off. Like, I'm flipping through, like, TikToks, going through, turning the lights off.
That's not safe. What if you miss
And be going through, TikToks. And I'm like, of course, closing takes an extra 20 minutes because I'm walking around
Right.
looking at TikTok.
Right.
Whereas now I'm like, done. All right, 5 minutes, we out. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because I'm not flipping through. Or I'm not sitting at my desk like, oh, all right, I'll get the lights in a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, damn, it's 6:10. I was supposed to be out 10 minutes ago.
Oh, hell no. Even
Like,
I
my
am
bad.
out at the time I'm supposed to be out.
I was like, I'm gone. But like you said, that you get absorbed in it and immersed and
Facts.
suckered into it because of the pleasure centers, and they tap into what it is that you want to see.
Absolutely. And validate your stupidity too. There's more contradictions on social media than the Bible. Word. It'll tell you, hey, you're gonna get that big dick baller, and then it'll say, all you gotta do is some shit that you can never do.
I'm sorry if people believe that. I feel like that's
What?
their own.
If you look at it, if me, even I'll use my own self. When I'm dealing with when I was dealing with my kid's mom, I'll go through my phone and it'll be a whole bunch of stuff that says women should value themselves more, and if she doesn't respect this, then you should set boundaries and X, Y, and Z. And then she'll be right here, right next to me, and everything that the woman's saying on her phone is the complete opposite. But so it's basically like y'all are never gonna be together.
Petting each other.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
men
'Cause-
need to get their act together. Men need to, I get what you're saying.
It's when on men's phone is women are tripping. On women's phone is men are crazy. Don't deal with them, girl. You don't need them. So like,
So at what point do we value like our own opinions? And I feel like
great question.
this is so like I don't know where it got lost in translation, but like it is so important to be like doing inventory on like what you are taking in as yourself.
Amen.
Who are you listening to? Whose advice are you listening to? Whose advice are you seeking? What music are you listening to? What are the people that you are around talking about? Like, are these things that anybody is actively like acknowledging? Because it's like it does make a difference. Like if you're constantly around people that are gossiping and talking negative, well, it's probably gonna make you lean more towards gossiping and talking negative.
Yeah.
Or it's like if you are a person, like I know people mean well, so it's like I don't mean anything against it, but it's like you gotta take most of the time what people say with a grain of salt, because they're not you. And like whatever they did in their circumstances really probably will not fit for you and yours, and it's like, and also, are we thinking of, is the person that I'm listening to, are they even where I want to be? Do they have anything that I want to have?
Absolutely.
Or am I just listening to them because they have an ounce of charisma and they know how to put words together? So now I just think they know what's going on.
A lot of people are listening to people who have that ounce of charisma and put words together.
And it's like, but if you really dissected that person, they probably don't have anything that you want.
Hold up, if you, amen, and I'm agreed with you 100%. Not only that, they probably stole their whole message from somebody else. What? How many times are you gonna see the same message over and over on Facebook, and then that person still act like they made it up?
You're right. You're right.
I just see this message 10 times, and then you really just retyped it to make me think that you made it up.
Plagiarism 101.
Yeah, man, please.
Yeah.
So that with that, it's like is so much of that, and like I feel like all of that and the contradictions just help people with that false reality. They just like,
You're so right.
yeah, it just keeps them stuck in it, because it's like, oh, why do we gotta live in reality when we got all of this bullshit validating our stupidity?
Delusions at an all-time high.
Amen.
And what's your what's your filtration system? Because you could like take stuff in, but like, are you discerning it to be like, or are you just like, nope, that's fact. Yep, sure, take it. All
Right.
cool.
It's like, people can know how to talk. That's a gift. But just because somebody knows how to talk doesn't really mean there's like actual
they know
oomph
what they're
behind
talking
what
about.
they're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
It's like, you can know how to string a nice sentence together. Do you have any lived experience? Can you like put yourself in my shoes? Can I put myself in your shoes? Like, what's happening here?
Absolutely.
That's why there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Ooh, amen.
Absolutely. And
Discernment.
I found a lot of people who talk good are not saying anything. That's why they became so good at talking. It's like dribbling the basketball.
I've heard that.
People like, and one is a thing because people got caught up on dribbling, when really dribbling is deception. Dribbling is only to make you pay attention to the dribbling so they can open up space to score, because the whole name of the game is to score more points. Dribbling is worthless. Talking is worthless. The whole point of talking is so that people can understand you. Why are you saying more than you need to say?
That's a good point.
Because you're trying to convince somebody. You're trying to deceive them.
Right.
Dribbling is deception. That's what talking is, dribbling.
And then all of a sudden
I like
the ball's
that.
being bounced off your head.
You feel me?
And then it's flown past your head as to an alley-oop as somebody's
A majority
driving
of the
to the
shit,
lane.
Most of the shit that's understood is through body language.
That's
right?
a good point.
Body language is like more than 50% of the conversation. The words is like just masking what's really going on. Because no time for me as an adult have somebody ever said something to me and I wasn't paying attention to how they was moving to see if it matches up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like you could be sitting
yeah,
here.
I love you so much, but my knife is still right here. So I'm watching your back. Again, I spent 17 years incarcerated, right? The last 17 years incarcerated altogether. So I spent about 18 years if you take the little punk ass time that I did for A1 and the little Nash stints, and then I come, I do my fucking 2-year bid in South Bay. I get 15 years after that, right? So my whole lived experience is based off of paying attention to people who are trying to deceive you, whether it be a lawyer, a judge, the CO, your cellmate, right? The girl who's telling you she's gonna come see you and she's not gonna have sex with nobody for 10 years. My whole life is based off of finding deception, right? And then not even me having to find it from the people in my, you know what I mean, vicinity, yet watching the people trying to find it in me. You know what I mean? Like that's the cop's whole job. He's up to something. What is it? And so now we spend all of that time with them, right? Because when you go to prison, that's who you spend most of your time with, a bunch of criminals and a bunch of police.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not only, I'm already perceived or deemed a criminal, so I'm obviously learning that stuff because they're in abundance in prison. Yet I'm also learning how to you know, how the police think. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm watching. How is he able to find my homebrew under my pillow when he ain't never looked under nobody else's pillow? I got to figure out how I could stash my homebrew without getting caught. So I got to learn how the cop think, right? Or I got to learn why is he on my back so he could get off of my back. I got to learn how to deceive somebody who's looking for deceit. So my whole life I've just been either one, trying to be a great deceiver, or try to figure out how to keep the deceit away from me. And because I was never really good at lying, I just became like a person who wanted to keep the deceit away from me, you know? And so I viewed it, and I studied it, and I tried to keep like every little thing that I knew about it, and put people in boxes and label them because of it, right? Like a lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't label people and you shouldn't judge people. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. That shit saved my life. I'm putting everybody in the box.
It's the perspective and the lens that you've had to live through. Like it's
that's my defense mechanism. You getting put in the box as soon as I meet you, right?
Everybody does that no matter what, though. Whether or not they say they do, everybody does it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you're always sizing people up, and that can have a good connotation or a bad connotation depending on perception and where people are coming from. But like every single person does that.
I agree.
And like we all have implicit biases that we don't even realize we have, and that's what makes them implicit biases. And it's like everybody does it. So like I don't care who says they don't.
Yeah,
or like woke culture or whatever. It's like no, we all do it. And to a certain degree, I think it's, and without meaning to sound ignorant if it does come off that way, depending upon how you're doing that, those are the things that keep you safe. Those are the things that safeguard you and help you discern whether or not to like
is self-preservation.
Yes,
absolutely. You got to do what you got to do for yourself. So whatever you learn, whatever defense mechanisms you learn, that's what you're gonna do. And I agree with you completely. I agree with you completely. I feel like a lot of people is going to say what they think people want to hear versus what's actual reality, and then that goes right back to people living in.
And that's why it's important to understand.
Yeah,
and that's why it's important to understand perspective and people's reality. Because you not to use you as an example, but to use you as an example, like, you know, people to say like, oh, you should just trust people. Like, dude, you don't understand what I've been through that has created the environments that I've been in. Like, I don't know anything else because I wasn't introduced, for example, to things where I could trust people. Right. Like, I was in the only situations that I know are where I had to watch my back and be careful and get the deception away or protect myself.
Absolutely.
Like, you can't... you know, obviously, like, we hope that, you know, someday, like, there is a form of building of trust, you know, because we hope that, you know, again, just kind of going along with that example, you know, some form of trust, but it's like, it's also easier said than done because this is like what you lived and bred for so long, like to be.
Pardon yourself, and that, not to cut you off, just to
you're good.
To your point, I feel like people get into a level of trust is not only unrealistic, and I feel like you kind of touched on that point, yet I also believe that it's unnecessary. And the reason being is because it's always going to be different energies, because that's what makes the world up in and of itself.
For sure.
Positive, negative, and neutral energy. And then you see that even in people. That's everywhere. You can't even get your remote control to work without positive and negative energy.
Fair.
Right? And you need neutral energy. Right? So all of it's necessary, just like you need positive, negative, and neutral people. There's going to be neutral people who don't know which one of it. What way do I go? Malcolm X says, hey, we shouldn't hurt people. Let's go with Malcolm X. I mean, let's go with Martin Luther King, who says don't hurt people. Then Malcolm X says something different. Let's go with Malcolm X. Like, there's these type of people who just follow whoever is popular at the time. Those are neutral-minded people or neutral-energied people. Right? They're just going with the flow. Yep. And there's negative people who you need those people because they offset the positive people, or they keep the positive people positive. Whatever it is, I don't know necessarily, like, I'm not about to pretend like I know exactly why that happens like that, or why negative people are negative, because that's something I'm super perplexed about, right? I don't know why people wake up and want to be negative. I think that is ridiculously crazy,
Yeah.
right? I have a bunch of negative shit to talk about. I have a bunch of lived experience that is not positive whatsoever, and I still wake up every day and try to find the silver lining. Like, yo, I wake up and I'm like, yo, my daughter's smiling, I'm good.
Amen.
You feel like I'm not in prison, I'm good. I'm still alive, I'm good. My mom let me use her car today, I'm good. You
It's looking
feel
at the
like,
small things, the little.
yeah, and people could wake up with everything I said plus more, and they'll wake up and still want to fuck somebody's day up. Like,
I think that
and I
speaks
seen
to
it.
Yo,
resilience.
they made my
though.
coffee wrong. Like, bro, like you woke up.
Right.
Oh, they made my coffee wrong. Now my day is miserable, and I'm gonna be miserable to every person that I come in contact with.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that
Resilience, I agree.
it speaks to resilience. I also think that there needs to be a level of emotional intelligence that goes with the, okay, so I have, whether it's like I have a lot of just negative lived experiences or whatever the case may be, to be able to know that and have that be part of your story, and then like consciously be like, but that is not going to affect the way that I now treat others, or I'm going to make a conscious effort to not project that onto other people. There has to be a level of emotional intelligence that I think is not present in a lot.
Purposely. American culture is based
Yes.
off of dividing and conquering people.
Yes.
So once they came over here with that, and they learned that from where they came from, right? These are people who were exiled from Europe and then became pirates and settlers and was like, we're going to go over here, find some precious metals and some coffee, and came over here and killed mad people. There's no precious metals in that, right? So I'm saying not to say that you saying that there should be basically a say the sentence again just so that I don't misquote you.
So I think I said
Emotional-
something like there needs to be a
Exactly.
certain level of
Emotional.
emotional intelligence.
So now look, these is the people that came over here, right? These people were intelligent. This had nothing to do with emotion. This was all methodic stuff.
calculated.
So when they
Yeah,
came over
strategic.
here, they divided the people who were here. They conquered them, right? That had nothing to do with emotion. That was all methodic stuff. Then they came. After they came, they was like, you know what we need to do? We need to build this up for us. So now where there's a lot of emotional shit going on is Africa. That's like deep rooted in African like history. A lot of the music and why they move and why they do what they do is based off of emotion. Even the men. Like in Africa, they are so that I was gonna say that when we started talking about violence, you can't really as a black or brown person, you was never really going to escape the violence, because if Europeans never came to Africa and then colonized these people, brought them over here, and then they pinned them against each other, they were still going to do that in Africa. That's what tribes are for, right? There's numerous tribes in Africa, and that's actually how those people were sold into slavery, because they was in the wrong tribe. And these tribes are fighting each other, killing each other the same way gangs are doing over here. So it's funny how people came over here, white people popularized gangs, and then black people adopted them as if they never knew what they were. Yet, isn't a tribe and a gang essentially the same thing?
Right.
Pretty much, yeah.
I get what
Right?
you're saying.
Yeah.
Break it down
So-
to its roots.
Right?
Just
so
like
now
seen it
to
in a
the
different way.
emotional intelligence, they come over here. All of that is deep rooted within their ancestry and culture. Nobody's paying attention to that. Now, when does it pop back up? When men start acting more emotional than they need to be. When does that become a thing? When they divided the home. They divided the home, right? And the majority of the houses were filled with women. Men are logical thinking creatures. Women are emotional beings. This is all known scientific facts.
So I'm not going to argue with you
Right?
there. I'm a woman. I know, honey.
And so once the house became predominantly female, right, or ran by the female, it was only right or common or pretty much inevitable for the man now to adopt the same traits as a female.
We've talked about this.
It's what you're surrounded, it's
I
what you're
have
surrounded by.
heavy
You pick it up.
conversations with my little brother. Shout out to my little brother Chris about this
out to Chris.
all the time.
Right.
About just like, because he's just a person that we can talk about, like, because I know that this could be a hot topic just because it's so gender oriented, but whatever, neither here nor there. But it's like there is so much truth to that. And like we see it all the time. I think you and I have had conversations about this. I think we've kind of touched on it and on the pod before. But like, yeah, there is a lot of truth to that. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you didn't interrupt me. I'm like, I just feel like that's a testament to what is happening, why the emotions can't be regulated in society, because they gotta be first regulated within the homes, but they're purposely not regulated.
Yes.
And even more, and not to, this is part of the reason why no female wants to be with me, because I dwell, right? Like, you don't do nothing wrong, because I'm going to talk about it for a whole week. Right? So they keep, you know what I mean? Like, so, part of self, the females, I kind of lost my train of thought when I said that, because I know that I just outed myself. Please, baby, come back.
Baby, come back.
You can blame it on me. No, but so as a testament to regulating the emotions, like I was saying, so it's hard to do that with the house being, predominantly female, and that's like goes to, I was trying to get to, basically that goes into the music, and we kind of touched on that a little bit as well. So before, when they was trying to divide the homes, and in order to pretty much induct, right, or even abduct, or whatever, you could use pretty much every word with D-U-C-T at the end, right, to bring people from their life into what they wanted them to do, because when prison came over here, there was no need to put black people in prison because we was already slaves. So after they did the projects around like what, the 20s, 30s, somewhere around between the 20s and the 40s, right? Slavery was now abolished because it ended in about 1865, was supposed to, but lasted for 2 more years, whatever the case may be. So in the 1940s, the prisons was filled with white people. It was filled with wannabe gangsters, or actual gangs, whatever word you want to use, like filled with like the mob bosses and shit, and war veterans, right? People who went AWOL. It was not filled with black people. Yet around 1950s, 1960s, when the laws started to change and all of that shit, it started to, become mixed, right?
Started filtering.
You know what I mean? Started filtering, and then it became predominantly black right after the 60s, going into the 70s. So you also look, even they had a whole big thing about black studies that turned into riots in colleges, right? And even guns weren't illegal for people to have, because black people could hold them on the streets. Even the Black Panthers, when the Black Panthers was a thing, guns weren't illegal for black people to have. Yet after the Black Panthers and the takedown and all of that COINTELPRO, they became illegal, because it's like, we're not going to have them have the same stuff that we have to combat us. That doesn't even make any sense. No, we're going to deem it illegal for them, but it's good for us. Right? And so I say that to say that after all of that started to be implemented, that's when the prison started to get filled up. Yet what else started to be implemented? Right after the 70s and then the 80s, rap music came about. Right? So how does that help them? It didn't at first, because rap music was only talking about stories and, you know what I mean, helping the community and shit like that. Then they came up with gangster rap. And then what happened? Mass incarceration. Why did I bring that up, especially after talking about emotional intelligence? We're all aware of mass incarceration now, right? So it's not really like they pulling the wool over our eyes no more. So they divided the home already with mass incarceration, because they fucked up all of the males utilizing rap music, messing up a lot of people's heads, making them think that being gangster was cool. Now remember, in the 1940s, what was jail filled with?
Gangsters.
White gangsters. Then it became filled with black wannabe gangsters. Right? So Why is that? Again, why is that important to emotional intelligence? Directly after that happens, we become aware of mass incarceration. Dudes start to smarten up. Why? Because women are way smarter than men. So the women are seeing this. And they're starting to be the emotional creatures that they were made out to be. And they're saying, why? They're smart and emotional. So women are asking, well, why are you doing life in prison? Why did you do 15 years in prison? Why did this happen? Why is the laws this? Why is this? And you got a person like Michelle Alexander who comes out with a book called The New Jim Crow. And she's explaining to us exactly why. It was all implemented before in order to do the fuck shit that they're doing now. Right? Again, why am I talking about this? Especially after talking about emotional intelligence or regulating emotions, right?
No, it all goes together.
Because I'm getting to the women, and I'm still talking about the music. We became aware of mass incarceration. We see all of this stuff happening. We even kind of see how it happened, right? But how do we keep it happening? That's not what I'm going to ask, because I'm on the flip side of it, right? In my community, in brown, black, and Latino, like all other communities other than Caucasian and European communities, people are trying to get away from it. Yet they're trying to figure out, because this is what's making Americans money. Capitalism is why American currency even means anything. Otherwise, it'd be bullshit, right? So how do we keep this going? We got to keep them divided. But we can't divide them anymore, because the men, it doesn't even make any sense. A majority of these people are going to be legitimate mental health patients, so we can't bring them to prison. They're going to dead, or they're going to smarten up and they're going to switch their lives, which is what's happening, right? So what do? Damn, we got to do something. Sexy Red. Right? Now that sounds like a crazy jump.
No,
Yet
it
if
doesn't.
so you following me. Now we got to mess up the female.
Oh, I see it.
Right.
This has
Dudes
been
was-
happening for years.
Dudes was good. Dudes, even to the point, let's even go back a little bit. Dudes was doing all of that time in prison, coming out and becoming millionaires anyway, without the information that you even have accessible today. Now you have accessible information on Instagram, the same way you got twerking videos where you could go and fix your credit in less than a month. All you got to do is pay attention, right? Yeah, dudes was fixing their credit and doing all of that shit without Instagram. How? Because the women. They was coming home, and these women who were asking questions was like, damn, this dude needs a second chance. And women was giving it to him.
They brought him back up.
And the woman was the reason, right? So how the fuck do we fuck that up? Because we did all of this goofy shit. We spent 100 years to fuck up their crib. They got out of prison and became better than what they went in doing. That don't make no sense. So now what do? We got to fuck up their backbone, the whole structure. Because the structure is how you fuck up a house. You take right?
You hit the women.
You go in the house and fuck up the refrigerator, that ain't gonna do nothing. You fuck up the structure of the house. They hit the women. And then you got Sexy Red, you got Ice Spice, you got every fake whatever what's the word they be using, carbon copy female you could think of is there for you. If you light skinned and you want to be silly, she's there for you. If you're brown skinned and you want to be silly, she's there for you. Because they gotta have all different flavors for you to be
because
like,
you have to be able to see yourself.
you know what I
and
mean?
then- yeah.
If you want to be heavy and silly, that she's out there too. You know.
And it goes back to like what you said at the top, like
That's a
people's
really
expectations of like, oh, I'm gonna get this type of person. This is the person that I'm gonna get, and it's like, that's false. Because then as soon as you get it, you're like, what is this? What is happening? Because we live in that false.
And it's so false. They got a reel like this. They got a and y'all probably seen it. They got a and there's an actual before pardon self. I seen it as a reel. After I seen it as a reel, I seen an actual sermon about it from a pastor, and he says, and this is exactly what the reel says. A woman was looking for a husband. She went to the husband store. She goes to the first floor. She says, y'all got any more husbands? They said, yeah, upstairs on the second floor. She goes to the second floor. She looks around. It's a little less stuff. She's like, these people, nah, there's something wrong with these people too. Y'all got any more? They're like, yeah, go upstairs to the 3rd floor. You're like, nah, this ain't gonna cut it either. Then they tell her basically to go all the way up to the stairs, and she finds exactly what she started with, nothing. Right? So it's basically, and I don't say it verbatim, right? Yet the basically the moral of the story is you're going to keep looking until you find nothing, right? Because you was on the 1st floor, there was a whole bunch of husbands there. Why didn't you find one? You went to the 2nd floor, there was a whole bunch of husbands there. Why didn't you find one? You went to the 3rd floor, and then you ended up on the last floor with nothing. The common denominator, sweetheart, is you.
It's true, because the key word is husband. It's the person that you should be marrying. It's just like the Bible says, he who finds a wife. No, it's not he who finds a girl, like it said, and I'm, quoting somebody, I'm not trying to take it, and say it's mine. It's not he who finds a girlfriend that dates her and courts her and finally gets engaged and then they're married and she's a wife. It's he who finds a wife. So she's already wifey material.
Exactly.
Same.
Exactly.
I think what happens is like kind of and you mentioned this a couple of times, is just like people are so concentrated on like, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. But they don't realize don't take a step back, and this goes for men and women, and both. Fair. They don't take a step back to be like, but what do I actually like? What am I bringing to the table? Like, I know what I want, or I know like what my goal is, but like, am I the type of person? Am I going to attract that with where I'm at in this moment? And I think people forget that it's actually very important to be able to like take a look in the mirror and be like, okay, that's all. That's great to have your wants and that's great to have goals. But like, we got to be real. Are you that person that's going to get that right now?
Absolutely.
And if not, are you willing to do the work in order to be able to get that dream husband or whatever? And first of all, I thought husbands were supposed to find wives anyways. But but like, are you the person that someone will, like, are you the woman that a man's going to meet and be like, oh, wow, like, I really want to make you a wife? Or it's like, are you a man that a woman's going to meet and be like, I feel safe, oh, I want you to lead and I would love to follow. Like, is that a thing?
That's a great point.
And maintain it. Yeah. Because some people show up for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it gets to be 10 and they're like, I'm ready to go.
And I think that also goes with the delusion thing that we were talking about too. Like, it's all nice and fine because we see all these reels on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And we all see like, just these like picturesque couple moments, and it's like, okay, but you didn't see the argument when like maybe two people are overstimulated and trying to like, they're just both having bad days and like you're just, you know what it's like to have a crap day.
Absolutely.
And then maybe your partner's having a crap day, and it's like, do you know how to still handle each other?
Yeah, you don't see the groundwork that they took to get there. Like they didn't, it didn't happen in a month. They're in like a 20 30 15-year relationship or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's always growing pains, there's always learning curves, because like everyone has their own bag of shit. Like, we'll just put it that way, okay? Right. And everyone's a little bit toxic. I don't care what you say. We're all humans, okay? We're all flawed. But so you're never going to find anyone that's perfect. But what matters is, it's like, can you handle that person's flaws? Are you okay with that person's shade of toxic? And when you guys are both having bad days or stuck in a moment or whatever, can you still find the love in that? Like, can you still treat each other with kindness and respect through that? And I think if we look at social media, it doesn't show anything. And then, like you said earlier, it's like, for females, it's like you see all of these TikTok or like all these reels or whatever that just say men ain't shit. And I don't like that, by the way. I do not. I am not a female that is about men bashing or men hating. And I will never stand for that, because I think that's ridiculous. And then obviously, like, as a male, you see the reels that are like, oh, is your woman doing this? And it's like planting all these thoughts. And it's like, Well, no. Like, this is just, it's just delusion fueling itself, you know?
And me, if I'm being completely honest, that's one of the reasons why like I fall for that shit too. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I have a bunch of mental health issues, and at any given day I could be susceptible to open my phone and be like, oh man, this is exactly what I'm going through.
Oh, I totally get that.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm susceptible of it too, so I understand, like, when it happens to me, I don't like it. I get frustrated, and I'm like, why are you looking at your phone and then comparing your phone to me? You know what I mean? Yeah, I do it. So I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? And
But you have
I
the
hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
No,
mean to
no,
interrupt you.
no.
But you have, like, the wherewithal to know, like, in your mind, like, oh, I might be doing that thing. You know, like,
No,
at least you know.
I don't, but I dwell and I won't stop. Like, I'll be in my, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be in the back of my mind, like,
It's
yo,
like
this
ruminating.
is crazy. What you're doing and saying might be crazy. You might be completely off base, and none of the shit you're saying is correct. And I'll say, dude, if you don't shut up, I'm going through it right now. Blah 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 blah. Like, I forget. You know what I mean? Like every good TV show, right? The red angel and the white angel. And I'm like, dude, listen, good angel, get up out of here, because me and him, we got something going on. We about to get at her, 'cause she's acting crazy.
No, I get that. We all have our moments, though.
Yeah, nah.
We all have our moments.
Yeah.
And depending on the day and, you know, what's going on, because I get that. I mean, like, we all have our stuff going on with our mental health, but at least you know. Like, at least you do know that that is something that you are susceptible to, or that you might fall into. Or maybe I just say that out loud to comfort myself, too. I don't know.
At least I know.
Yeah, just like, at least you have the wherewithal to know. Because it's like, who doesn't? We all fall into our own crap. Hello.
And when we know, you know, because you always say it all the time, oh man, you're looking down or whatever, and it's like, yeah, I know, but then that's as far as it goes. Like, I know.
I legitimately think that's the worst.
And then you're just
knowing and still doing the goofy shit. If I'm being completely honest,
we've all been there. We've all been there,
right? And I just admitted I didn't did it.
Kayla's like poster child. Thank you. No, just kidding.
Coming off a full week of it.
Just kidding.
The lack of knowledge is like, people can't really fault you for what you don't know. Yeah, I get frustrated because when I know, like, if I'm with somebody and I'm like, don't tell me to do something or not to do something that you're about to do. You know what I mean? Like, first and foremost, like, I never even been in an adult relationship until my last relationship, so I knew nothing, right? And I learned everything from that relationship, even gathered up all my insecurities through their insecurities. It was hard.
That's what I'm saying, the perspective thing that I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
And knew better. Yeah, I did silly shit that I shouldn't have did. And yet I got the most frustrated when they did it. Like, don't do something that I know for a fact that you know because you brought it up, and then act like you don't know what's going on.
Do you think, and you don't have to answer this out loud, but if you want to, obviously, do you think a part of that frustration is being able to see a piece of yourself in that person when they're doing it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, I was broke. I've been dealing with therapy and my mental health for a while, so I've had dreams broken down to me and, like, certain things about, like, myself, and even you kind of spoke to it, like a testament to it when you was talking about not taking things that people do personally. Like, that, even that is a reflection of yourself, because people don't know what's in your head or what you're going through on a day-to-day basis. Even if they're with you every day, they still don't fully know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people are not doing anything to you personally, even though it feels like they are.
Right.
And even if they think they are, they're not. Because at the end of the day, they don't really know what you're going through.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you could do some shit where you think it's going to affect me in a negative way, and you actually help me. You could do some shit where you think it's going to affect me, I circumvent it, sidestep it, and you just sit there looking stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I get you.
Or you could do some shit where you might have intended to do something good, but I take it the wrong way. I take it the wrong way. So now I'm like, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, and I feel like because of it's so many different variables that it could be.
Yeah.
and I'm guilty of taking everything personal. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
I do.
You feel me? Like,
I do. That's why I'm like, I have to tell myself all the time, like, stop. It's not about you.
Yeah.
Like, stop it.
Same.
Yeah, we're not supposed to, because legitimately it really has nothing to do with us, because whatever a person does is from their lived experience.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with your lived experience at all.
And I also feel like people are just mirrors for each other. So it's like, if I see something that I love in a person, it might be because I might be able to recognize it in myself. If I see something I detest in a person, that might be because I see a little bit of it in myself. And being able to see that in front of me reminds me of it, and I can't stand it. I feel like people are really, truly just mirrors for each other. And you are right. Like, we only know things through our own experience, but like, if we kind of just took a minute to remind ourselves of that, of like, that person has no clue what my inner monologue is saying.
Absolutely.
It just think they do. Right, and it's like, no, they couldn't. And it's like, thank God they don't. Thank God nobody does. But it's like, that's so true. And I just feel like people need to take a step back for a second and realize that nothing really has to do with them at all. And I say that to remind myself that as well.
Yeah. Facts. Well, Dante, I really appreciate you coming through, man. This has been...
Absolutely.
I needed this, selfishly.
This was dope.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No worries.
This was dope, man. For real.
Absolutely.
No, we really appreciate it.
No, anytime I could get on the microphone and well, forget the microphone. I don't even need the microphone. Anytime I could talk without it being used against me in the court of law.
That's fair enough. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no stenographer here.
Yeah, and if anybody sees this and tries to use it at court, this is all for entertainment purposes. These are all props.
We are actually not all here.
Yeah, we're not even here. This is a figment of your imagination. That fantasy world we said everybody lives in, this is it.
We are in a reel right now.
It's a green screen. This is a green screen. Yeah. Facts.
Real life, REEL.
REEL.
Yeah, make sure
L.I.F.E.
I get that too.
Before we wrap,
Oh my God!
So
insurance claim,
bro. You are so dumb, dude. Act better.
Yeah,
is your back okay, honey?
Yeah. Get the ice packs out. Before we wrap, where can people kind of connect with you, link with you? We try to make connections through our conversation. So, obviously I believe, I'll at least speak for myself. I definitely took a lot from this.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate it fully. So hopefully, anybody else that sees this, to be able to connect with you.
Oh, absolutely. So, well, they already gave the people my real name, which is Dante. So I'm, spelled
Was that not supposed to do that?
No, that's
Okay.
who I am.
Okay.
I am who I am. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people call me Dae Heat. Yet I do everything's together. So the funny part is that even we're gonna have to have a talk after this, because I'm putting together something that actually encompasses all of that: mental health, fitness, and music.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say like, "Oh, we're gonna have a talk because I'm about to fall on your floor real quick." we go have an insurance claim.
Dodge ram real quick.
I'm not gonna tell you about that. We're just gonna do that.
All of a sudden, I'm like, "Who's screaming outside?"
If you look at this frame right here, he touched my J's. Just there's this little scuff right there.
I got you.
So
my fault.
My Instagram and pretty much everything on social media is Dae Heat, is DAEHEAT. So official _ Dae Heat on Instagram. Again, DAEHEAT. And then, my name, that's who I am. So Dae Heat, Dante, whatever one you want to use, that's me. So I'm a personal trainer who does music, and I suffer from a shitload of mental health issues. And I'm willing to talk to anybody who suffers or doesn't suffer or feels that they need to talk, because mental health is a real thing. And even if you don't have a host of mental health issues like myself, you probably still could utilize talking to somebody about whatever it is that you're going through before it turns into something that it doesn't need to be.
Amen.
So again, I'm a advocate for mental health, for prison reform. And again, so while in prison, real quick, that's where I learned you know, working out, I could utilize working out for my mental health. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to fitness, mental health, and music, I'm all in. You know what I'm saying? And that's Dante, Dae Heat, whatever name you want to use, right?
It got you.
Word.
Amen. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I appreciate y'all for having me. And this has been a nice podcast. I appreciate all y'all opinions.
Absolutely.
And I think, you know, again,
appreciate your perspective.
Use my words and
you'll have to come back.
Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for checking this out. I want to say God bless as always. Shout out MOCG. But until next time, my name is Jay Faith.
My name is L.Y.F.E.
It's your girl, Kayla.
And we got
Dae Heat, a.k.a. Dante Bill.
And we also got in the back, as always, Krispy Pic. And this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. What's up?